Hi, and welcome back to Focal Point AFR Talk, this Wednesday edition. 888-589-8840 is the number to call. You know, when a question has come up, we played the sound bites from Rand Paul talking about Bill Clinton and the Monica Lewinsky scandal, with which, of course, you are familiar. And there's been a lot of bantering back and forth, a lot of debate, a lot of dialogue about whether that's even relevant with regard to Hillary Clinton running in 2016, whether that's even a relevant piece of information that Bill Clinton had his little fling with Monica Lewinsky in the Oval Office. What does that have to do with Hillary Clinton running for president in 2016? Well, I submit to you it has a lot to do with it, primarily because of what it reveals to us about Hillary Clinton. It's not about Bill Clinton. He's not going to be on the ballot in 2016. But when you start thinking about the pattern of Bill Clinton's infidelities and what it reveals about Hillary Clinton, that ought to be disturbing to everybody. Now, the media is going to be hacking and flacking for Bill Clinton. They resent the fact that anybody has even brought up the issue of Monica Lewinsky. And Rand Paul said, look, I didn't bring it up. You asked me a question, and I try to answer questions as often as I can. You brought it up. I didn't. But they're accusing him of inserting that into the campaign. Of course, he did nothing of the sort. He was just responding to questions. Now, here is an MSNBC hostess, Alex Witt. She's on talking with David Cicilline, a Democrat from Rhode Island. And the Hillary Clinton race and the Lewinsky thing comes up. And listen to what Alex Witt does at the end of this little exchange.
If Hillary Clinton decides to run, do you think it'll be, I should say, a referendum on her and her alone, or her husband? And as some might say, is Senator Paul pushing for that?
Well, I think there's no question that Hillary Clinton, if she decides to run for president, will be judged on her performance, on her record, on her experience. I think these recent attempts to talk about President Clinton's relationship with Monica Lewinsky are an effort really to discredit Senator Clinton, Secretary Clinton. There will be voters in the presidential election in 2016 who weren't even born during the Monica Lewinsky matter. So I think, look, voters are tired of that. They're going to look at her record, what she's done, her vision for our country, how she can move America forward, and I think they will spend no time talking about President Clinton's record 17 years ago.
Yeah, I got to tell you, I'm sorry we even had to mention that young lady's name. I'm just, look, it is what it is.
So I apologize that we even allowed the name of Monica Lewinsky to be aired on our network. Now, let's grab clips 9 and 10, Rob. This is Kathleen Willey. Remember, she was groped by President Clinton in the Oval Office back in 1993. Husband was sick, was out of work. He needed a job. He hung himself that day, by the way, committed suicide. The very same day, she was at the Oval Office asking for help from Bill Clinton for a job for her husband. Instead of offering to help her, he propositioned her. He basically sexually harassed her, sexually molested her in the Oval Office. So she's on last night with Megyn Kelly, and the question comes up then about Bill Clinton's escapades. Does this have anything to do with Hillary Clinton running in 2016? And Kathleen Willey says, yes, it has everything to do with whether she is qualified to be president of the United States. Let's listen to clip 1.
Hillary Clinton is the war on women. And I think that she needs to be exposed for all of the terror campaigns that she has waged against the women who were in the wrong place at the wrong time with her husband. And it's been going on since before they got married. And that's how she handles it. She enables him to do it because she realizes the power that he has, and she wants to ride on his coattails like she's done all along. And the easiest way for her to handle the scandals is to ruin the women who just happen to be cross paths with him. And that's horrible.
So Kathleen Willey says, look, she's going to run on a campaign. The Republicans are the one out there waging a war on women. And she's saying, no, it's exactly the opposite. Hillary Clinton all by herself. She is the war on women. Look at what she did to everybody who was in Bill Clinton's circle of people that he sexually harassed, people that he's accused of raping, people that he had affairs with, people that came public to make a scandal for him. Hillary Clinton was the one that set out to smear them, to destroy them. and to terrorize them. So Kathleen Willey says, look, she's got no basis to run on the issue of being a defender of women because she herself is the leading she's the leading adversary that women have in America. She's a one-woman war on women. Here is clip number 2.
Well, I disagree, because if she's going to run on women's issues, like she says she is, and she's going to accuse the Republicans of this war on women, I think she needs to be exposed for the war that she's waged against people like me. I mean, she has choreographed every single investigation and every terror campaign against every single woman practically who she thinks might be a problem. And that's how she handled it. How can you be a champion of women's rights and turn around and do what she's done to women like me? It just doesn't make sense.
That's Kathleen Willey saying that Hillary Clinton disqualified from being president in 2016 because she is the one who was waging the war on women. Well, let's go to the phones. Let's go to David, Columbus, Ohio. David, welcome to Focal Point with Brian Fisher. What's on your mind?
Well, Brian, the first part of the hour, this will tie in with what you were talking about the sacrifices. And this is Psalms 106, verse 35, the New American Standard Bible. But they mingled with the nations and learned their practices and served their idols, which became a snare to them. They even sacrificed their sons and their daughters to the demons and shed innocent blood, the blood of their sons and their daughters, whom they sacrificed to the idols of Canaan. The land was polluted with blood. Thus they became unclean in their practices and played the harlot in their deeds. Therefore the anger of the Lord was kindled against his people, and he abhorred his inheritance. Then he gave them into the hands of the nations, and those who hated them ruled over them. Their enemies also oppressed them, and they were subdued under their power. Many times he would deliver them. They, however, were rebellious in their counsel, so sank down in iniquity. Our country has murdered 55 million babies, and we had better repent and do whatever we can to stop abortion in this country. And that's what I wanted to say.
All right, David, thank you very much for that and for that reminder. You know, there's another verse in Hosea 13 talking about the consequences for Israel for their disobedience and rebellion. Their little ones shall be dashed in pieces and their pregnant women ripped open. You know, and the reality is we're doing that to ourselves. We are the ones that are dashing little ones to pieces in the wombs of we are the ones that are invading the womb of a mother to destroy the life that she carries. All right, David, thank you. Let's go to Patty in Wilmington, North Carolina. Patty, welcome,
There.
Patty. Wilmington, what's on your mind?
I have 3 quick points on 3 issues that you just discussed.
Fire away.
I heard Kathleen Willey last night, and I think she was wonderful. She needs to be more exposed. I'd also like to say that Hillary Clinton, 4-star Admiral James Lyon has said that Benghazi, the fault lies at the top with Obama and Hillary, and I don't know why that hasn't been publicized more. The second thing is that you talked about going on the streets and asking people about the death of Roosevelt, and they didn't know it.
Yeah.
Well, if people in the states don't raise up and go to their legislatures and get them to remove the Common Core curriculum, the ignorance and the uninformed are going to multiply, because the Common Core curriculum puts students 2 years behind what they are now. And the last comment is the FCC, please fight. Don't let them take away your station or our freedom to hear. This has just gone too far. Obama has committed treason, and this is just, why won't someone in Congress do something? I don't understand.
Yeah, and I will guarantee you, Patty, we will fight to the last ounce of breath and blood to defend our constitutional rights to freedom of speech and to freedom of the press, because we're essentially a part of the press because we broadcast news. And we have a constitutional right to exercise those activities. They are our right. They're one of the unalienable rights that God has given to us. The government has a responsibility to protect. If government threatens those, we're going to fight. I'll have to pry this microphone from my cold, dead fingers And that'd be true of everybody else here at AFR. All right. Thank you, Patty. I appreciate that. Catherine in Gonzales, Louisiana. Catherine, welcome. What's on your mind?
Thank you, Brian. I appreciate your station, and I thank you for your dialogue yesterday on Common Core.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to make a comment about the previous dialogue in that our Constitution and foreign government requires an informed and moral electorate, and it is inadequate for any other.
Mm-hmm.
And we have actually, the immorality of our nation is being brought about really in the education system through the small children and changing their ideas. And Common Core is just the latest initiative to continue to indoctrinate and brainwash children. We're working hard in Louisiana at the grassroots effort to try to get legislation. And we actually have a forum tomorrow in Baton Rouge with 6 national speakers. And we're excited about the opportunity to energize the grassroots efforts, louisianacore.org. And we really, we know it's a national thing, but each community has to fight, for their freedoms. And I encourage everybody to do what they can at their local level and their state level to get their legislatures to pass laws to protect privacy of student data, to protect the rights of parents to have choices over the educational decisions for their children. And this is really, it's more than just that. It's religious freedom, because I educated my 5 children at home. And
well, absolutely, Catherine. Listen, I'm up against a hard break. I'd love to let you finish your thought, but I appreciate what you had to say. God bless you for doing your part to stop Common Core in the state of Louisiana. May God bless your efforts and all those who join you. Focal Point AFR Talk will be back after the news. Don't go anywhere.